Welcome to Pop and Play, the podcast all about play and pop culture and how it shapes our lives. I'm Nathan Hulbert, and with me, as always, is Haeny, Life of a Showgirl, Yoon.
Oh, thank you. I'm Haeny Yoon, and today we are kicking off season 6 with Playdates, a new segment of Pop and Play episodes where we invite you to play along with us. Each Playdate will choose a play experience and let you know in advance what we're up to, and then invite a guest to help us reflect on why this particular form of play matters.
That's right.
And this is your favorite one of the whole season.
We kicked it off with a biggie, and if you're a member of the Pop or Not community, you've been listening along, you know that this first one is playing with music, and specifically we're going to be playing with Haeny.
Life of a Showgirl.
Which is not only the name of this album, but it's also what you shout every time you walk into Teachers College, right?
Yes, you shout Elizabeth Taylor. Yes. Okay.
So tell our audience what we did for this play date, and let's kind of get into it.
Yeah. So we actually went to the premiere of the music video for The Fate of Ophelia, along with a Taylor Swift sing-along. That's basically what I call
Swift
it.
Sing-along, yeah.
It's a movie/film, but really it's kind of a listening party sing-along.
You kept telling me we were going to see a film, not a movie, and then it was a sing-along.
Well, it was a 10-minute Fate of Ophelia film, I guess.
That's true.
So thanks to our lovely friend Lolita, who got us tickets in record time, 3 minutes.
Wow.
We were able to get there, go to AMC with our friend Jackie Simmons, who is the host of Curriculum Encounters. Yep. So several old fashions in, we shimmied our way to AMC.
This is, I know, a dumb question, but
yes.
Tell us have you listened to the album?
Many times.
How many times have you listened to it?
I have no idea. Maybe like 10.
10. Okay, so this is, we're recording this the day after it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So in the, 35 hours or so, you've listened to it
Maybe
10
times, yes.
Okay.
And I stayed up till midnight to listen to the first night it dropped. And I don't do that because that's 2 hours past my bedtime.
All right.
Yes.
We are going to go to a film experience, I believe, not a movie, and we'll get back with you after that.
We'll let you know if Taylor will be there.
You
never know. You never know. Who
knows?
knows? Showbiz, baby.
The life.
Right here. My favorite part was the selective editing to make it PG.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Yeah. I like seeing how they put together a video. That was a
cool.
lot of hard work and a lot of professionals at work.
My favorite part was the music video.
Yeah, the music video.
I just see it at the beginning and the end.
It's good. Yeah, we got to see all the stages. Yeah, I'm in. I'm a huge Swiftie now.
And your favorite
Everybody
part
knows
was
it.
just all of it?
Okay, so that was a lot, and there was quite a lot of cheersing that Haeny kept making us do. There was singing along. There were kids in boas dancing in the theater. A whole lot of inside bits and jokes, and orange apparently mattered for some reason. And I honestly struggled that day to make sense of what the hell was going on around me. And so, play is important, but sometimes you need experts to help you reflect on that play. And that's what we've done today. We've brought in an expert, Cassie Brownell, associate professor in the Department of Curriculum, Teaching and Learning at the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education, and noted Taylor Swift scholar as well.
Woo!
Cassie, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very excited to be here.
We're super excited to have you. For my first question, we have lots to get into, but my first question is what do you think of the album? How do you feel about Life of a Showgirl?
Yeah, that's a really big, very contentious sort of question right now amongst the fandom. Okay. However, I will say on first listen, I was like, okay, there's some I think I'm into. There's some I'm maybe not into. But I also went to the theater, and then I was sort of sold on almost the whole album, I'd say.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's how I felt too, because one of my friends actually texted me the day that it came out, and she's like, what do you think about the album? I've talked to 2 people who are like, yeah, it's just okay. And my response to her was, I'm like, I do not like to comment on Taylor Swift albums right away.
Yes.
I need to digest it.
Need some time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I respect that, Cassie. It's like I saw this thing on social media where someone was like, oh, this album is not her best. And the second day, all the songs are in her head. And the third day, she's like rocking out to them because they're all bops.
I think that actually is true. And as much as I'm not really up on the Taylor Swift discography, I definitely have a few of those songs that stuck with me for a few days.
Yeah.
And at one point, Hannah was listening to some like playlist, and my wife Hannah, and a song came on. I was like, oh, that's that Taylor Swift song. Like I recognize it. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we are on equal footing now. We have equal knowledge because we.
Equal knowledge. Wow.
Yes, because we experienced it together. Wow. Anyway, Cassie, tell us. What are some of your faves? What are you into today? Because we know it changes.
It does. It does change a lot. I think that initially I was not really a big fan of Father Figure, but Father Figure is one that I definitely really like right now. I thought it was a bop. And it's definitely one that is playing in my head. Obviously, Life of Ophelia is like very fun. The music video really helps to like make it fun. I think The Life of a Showgirl has some really good storytelling.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of the Britney Spears Lucky vibe, which I'm here for.
Nice. Very good.
Father Figure definitely made me laugh out loud the first time I heard it. I was cooking in my kitchen by myself, trying to like cram for this event we were going to go to together, and
Steading.
And I shouted like when that chorus came up. It's a pretty funny song. We're going to get into a lot about Taylor Swift, but I know we're already kind of eased in and all, but we always like to play a game, and I would hate for you to come all the way here to hang out with us in New York and for us not to play a game with you. That would just be
devastating.
That's the word I was going to choose. So here's the game that we've come up with. You're going to play DJ. All right. And I'm going to give you a variety of situations that you may or may not have already had. And so feel free to draw on prior experience if that's relevant or not. And also feel free to stick to Taylor or feel free to go outside of the Taylor Swift discography. I think there's a lot of possible options for you here. But I want you to think about at least a song, if not an album, that feels like it fits the moment.
Can I just like clarify that I am not a music snob and I listen to way more NPR than I do music, so this could be a challenge.
Nina Totenberg is an option.
Okay, great. Beautiful.
No, you're having a party, so make them all Taylor Swift to then.
No, I really wanted her to say Nina Totenberg.
Yeah, this is Terry Gross.
Okay, we'll start out easy here. This is probably something that you may have actually done. Let's imagine you're throwing a party, and what's unique about this party is you're inviting both work friends and non-work friends. They're going to encounter each other probably for the first time at this event, and so in my head, I'm imagining that you're willing for the experience to get a little out of hand, a little crazy, but you still want to be able to show your face, at the university on Monday. So. What kind of songs do you imagine putting on?
Wow, what kind of songs? That's like a tough one. I mean, I do feel like, something like the track list to the Eras Tour could really work in favor. I also, it depends on, my colleagues are sometimes older than some of my friends might be. Yeah. So it might also be worthwhile to think about like what are some good karaoke hits that are throwbacks. Like there's some like old reliables, like, a lot of people like to scream sing Jack and Diane at various times.
Oh my God, that's Jack and Diane's a good one.
That's
solid.
A good one.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to have it in those events, you want to have somebody go, oh my God, I love this song.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
least every, 20 minutes or so.
Totally.
Okay, here's another one. You're driving on a road trip and you have a just recently teened niece or cousin or somebody with you in the car, and you are determined to be the cool aunt or the cool cousin. What do you put on the playlist?
Well, my niece is not a teen, unfortunately. She's only 8, but I do think like a K-pop Demon Hunters would be like like a very big hit right now. But I do know also that there are some teens who are really into it.
But she's going to be a teen someday.
She is going to be a teen someday.
And what do you think? This is your chance.
K-pop Demon Hunters is a solid choice. Like, if you could maybe sing Golden off key, you're golden. I get it.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. K-pop Demon Hunters. All right.
I just feel like there's a little bit of judgment coming from you for some of these answers.
Just a little bit. I mean, just kidding.
Nathan's like, I would play the Star Wars theme song.
Yeah, basically.
Over and over.
More John Williams, please. Okay, how about this? It's a breakup. You're in the middle of a breakup, but you're the breaker. Oof. So you need something to listen to, and you're not so sad, maybe, but maybe a little sad, maybe a little justified. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
What would you pick?
Well, I mean, when you first said breakup, I just thought of Sam Smith.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's like a kind of, even if you're the person doing the breaking up, you might have some feelings. Because maybe you've hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
But this is where I also think Taylor Swift like has many albums, various songs that could fit.
What song would you choose?
Oh my gosh, what song to choose in the moment? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that like I would probably be choosing like Actually Romantic right now from the new album because maybe they're still thinking a lot about me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, good.
And maybe
Stick
they
it
weren't
to
very
'em.
romantic otherwise, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure our fans have already listened to the album in full, but can you tell us why that song might be appropriate in this case?
It's sort of about how somebody like you live rent free in somebody else's
Right.
head. And so they're thinking a lot about you. And so you're saying that's really cute. That's really romantic that you would
Nice.
put such effort into thinking
Yeah.
about me, which
And
is sometimes
you're not thinking about them.
No, not at all.
But you put on the song, so you kind of are.
Also true.
Catch 22.
Yes.
I think we should end with that one. I have a few more, but I think we should end with it. I feel like we got a sense of how you use music to, express yourself in all these variety of situations, and I look forward to attending that party with.
Can't
I don't know
wait.
if I'm work friend or if
Yeah,
I'm
a
friend,
friend.
but
It's very
maybe I can be
confusing.
both.
Both. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate what you said, Cassie, because really, like, this episode is about music, but it's really about play and being a Swiftie, right? Which I feel like is a whole nother universe that is
Yeah.
beyond just music, right? And so I think that that point will come out, so don't worry. We will talk lots of things Swiftie. So before we talk about that, though, we thought we would first talk about music, right? So, do you remember the first album you purchased, or a song or a record that you were really obsessed with or really into in childhood, and who introduced you to it, and how did you get into it?
Yeah, so I think there's like I was thinking about a couple of things related to this because I think both about like I'm a kid who was born in the late 80s, so like
Yeah.
cassettes were still a thing.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And we also had like vinyl records at my house. So definitely one of my favorite cassettes that I think I like ran through was the Sesame Street Christmas album, which was
Oh, that's
really
awesome.
Let It Snow was like, I think Cookie Monster sang it. It was pretty amazing.
Nice.
But I also remember we did a lot of road trips. I grew up in Montana. There are long distances to drive. So Wilson Phillips was something my mom
yeah.
had.
God, hold on for one more day.
yeah.
Such a classic.
Wait, should we bust out into karaoke?
That is a karaoke one, right? I feel like I can still remember the cover of that tape,
Yeah,
and
me-
it was like the
yeah.
three of them.
Three of them,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that I got a CD player when I was like in 4th or 5th grade, so around like 9 or 10. And of course, I had Hootie and the Blowfish, Hold My Hand, was like very hot, 4th
that's a
grade,
good one,
new
too.
relationships.
Yeah.
And I also, my brother sold me because he was 4 years older than me and knew how to make profit off his little sister. The
Oh, he physically sold you.
Yes. I think I got a CD with the CD player. And then I think my brother was like, I will sell you this 1996 Grammy nominees like CD. And I bought it and it had like Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. It had so
Oh,
many
that's a
good.
that's a
that's
good
a
one.
good
Yeah.
It was, you should go back. It's like a banger, like after banger after banger on that one.
That's so funny because when you said my brother sold me on this, I thought it was more like convinced.
Convincing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just actually sold me this to make some
Literally
money.
selling.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's so funny.
What can you think of your first album? Or?
Yeah, Michael Jackson's Thriller.
That was your first album
Yeah, I would.
that
I
you
was
bought
like-
with your money?
No, I didn't actually buy it. Okay,
Oh, okay.
I actually take that back. So I was in elementary school, and my dad, he's like a Korean immigrant, right? I
Right,
didn't think he
right.
knew anything about the things that I was really into at the time, and he came home with it. And
That's
so
cool.
that's the memory that I have with it. I remember opening it up and seeing Michael Jackson with the, like, he had his wrist where he, like, his veins popping out on the side, and there's like a tiger or something on the cover.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was like he was wearing this white
Life-changing.
suit
Yeah.
and a black backdrop, and I
Yep.
was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So
And you were right. That actually is still the coolest thing ever, I
yeah,
think.
I was pretty into it. I listened to it a lot.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm actually a little disappointed though, because I had a feeling I thought you might have a similar experience as me, which was being steeped heavily in religion, that your first album would be a religious album like mine was.
What was it?
The first CD, I mean, I had some tapes and things, but the first CD I bought, I remember with my own money, was Michael W. Smith.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm very cool.
If you know, you know.
If you know,
Michael W. Smith.
Our friend Mike Dando is singing along right now, I'm sure. But to your point, like, the sort of who introduced you to music. I had an older sister as well, and our rooms were next to each other. And I distinctly remember when I was in elementary and middle school, I'd be like making my bed up, and her radio would be blaring. She would just have Ace of Base like on loop. She had the single, and so she would like play it, and then she'd like turn it around and play it again, and just be like that song. All morning. I saw the sign all morning.
My eyes, I saw the sign. Wait, is this about karaoke?
I think it is.
I don't know. This conversation is making me think about how music is not necessarily just something that like musicians are really into. I think there's some of us that, music is their work and their job. And I think that's very different than us like enjoying music for our play and thinking about the relationships that we've had, right?
Yeah.
The phases that we've gone through, our memories, and, our brother selling us CDs when he should have just given it to us, right? So I feel like there's like a lot of really cool memories of play connected to music when it's not your job, but it's a form of play and outlet.
Yeah, it's like so much a part of just culture, right? And,
Yeah.
And one of the things that in my work and in past projects, we were trying to think of like, we were building a game. To give it a specific example, we were building this game and we were trying to think about a game that would appeal broadly to kids. And we realized like, it can't be like Pokemon or something because that's a specific thing. But music, we realized we could make a game about music, and then like teens of all kinds would find something to connect with in there. And that turned out to be true. It's cool how that works.
Yeah.
Which is also partly why I was poking you a little more on the teen road trip, because I feel like I have a teen now, and I'm always like trying to figure out like what is he going to be into? How can I introduce him to cool stuff? And
I mean, I grew up, I'm the eldest of like my cousins on my mom's side, but I would road trip with my aunts and uncles as like a pseudo babysitter along the way.
And eldest daughter.
And I remember driving from like Montana to St. Louis, Illinois with my aunt and uncle. My uncle's like this Marine who like loves like AC/DC.
Yeah.
And I was like, can you play this Britney Spears album? Can you play the Backstreet Boys? And like, he still doesn't let me live this down, but I still maintain the same kind of pride that I have as like a Swiftie, where I'm like, no, I'm a pop girly.
Yeah,
like
that's
what I
fine.
like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And did he play those things?
He did, but I think
for
very
him.
briefly, and then we moved back to
AC/DC, Nine Inch Nails, that kind of thing. Yes.
Why not both is what I say.
Yeah, why not both?
Okay, so I need to know about, because I'm very ignorant about the whole Swiftie culture, other than knowing it's a huge, huge, huge thing. How did you get into it? When did this start? What drew you to Taylor Swift music, and how did you get involved in the community?
Yeah, so I think that it's sort of hard to like pinpoint the exact moment. As I mentioned, I grew up in Montana. Like country music was sort of like, I was a pop girly, but I also listened to a lot of country. So like I remember like I was in college like when Taylor Swift debuted, and I just like remember scream singing like at the bar various songs from her different albums. But I also remember my cousin is like 10 years younger than I am, and so she lived in the city that I was in when I was going to college, and I actually think I might have gotten the physical CD for Taylor Swift's debut from her, because she was like, you should listen to this, and I was being a cool older cousin.
You're being cool, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so I think I kept that CD then. So worse than my brother, perhaps, stealing from a child. And then I think I'm only a little bit older than Taylor Swift is, so I think I'm very much like a millennial girl who like grew up with her. And so it's like she's feeling 22 and I was feeling 25, but same vibes. And yeah, I think that my like deep dive into Swiftie culture is not something that necessarily happened until I was like Eras tour time.
Oh, interesting. So that was where it really like took fire for you.
Yeah, like I'm wearing a concert shirt.
I see that.
This is my second concert shirt. This is for when the Tortured Poets came out.
Okay.
But I have the shirt that is from before this, which was gifted to me. And that's like the first piece of Taylor Swift merch that I've ever owned. And the first piece was given to me.
And now do you have other things?
I have that sweatshirt that you're wearing.
I was going to say, you're also wearing Eras Tour.
Yeah, and so only stuff from like the Eras Tour. But like I don't own any of her physical albums like as a CD or as vinyl.
Oh, really? You just stream them all?
Streaming.
Yeah.
Such a millennial.
Such a millennial.
Haeny still is feeling 22, by the way.
Oh, yeah, always. I mean, I was thinking about how I could actually pinpoint when I became a Swiftie, like the turn that I've had. And so, like, when she was feeling 15, I was feeling like 28, you know? And I remember I was sitting there in my office with my office mate, okay? And I turn around to him and I'm like, oh my God, did you listen to this one album by this girl named Taylor Swift? She's like 15. And this is like after I was like heartbroken and always like sad all the time. And I'm like, this girl gets me. This 15-year-old understands me. And I feel like ever since then, like, I feel like I might have matured far like it might have taken me longer to mature than
Slowed
Taylor.
You down a bit?
Yeah, because I was on a parallel track with her. And so I felt like her songs spoke to me in that way.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't relate to her
Oh, really?
at all.
Well,
No.
because
Her songs are Bob's.
You
though.
do live the life of a showgirl. I'm surprised you don't.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
All those haters that are thinking about you all the time.
Yeah.
That you
Always.
live
They're always
free.
thinking about me. I don't know how I live with all this pressure.
That actually is. I mean, I've read a little bit since listening to the album, since going to the film about reviews of the album. And that is kind of a consistent critique of this one, isn't it? Is that like it's not a thing that as many people can maybe relate to as some of her other
I mean, okay, so I was telling Haeny that I think it's a really interesting thing. I'm going to agree with Haeny that sometimes you have to let these things sit with you. But I'm also going to say, like, people have been like, well, I don't like her album. And I'm like, cool, it's not meant, like, not everybody has to like everything, right? Like, you're wearing Star Wars, and I'll mention again that I still have
This
never...
is not Star
that,
Wars.
What is that? I thought it was... That looks a little like a little robot
my video
man.
game t-shirt.
Well,
It's a video game t-shirt.
to be clear though, but I haven't like seen Star Wars. Like it's just not for me. It's not my vibe. And like I'm very happy for people who are into it, but like it's not what I'm doing. But I think there's been a lot of critiques. But I also was sharing with Haeny that I was listening to this podcast that's called Are You Ready for It? It's my second favorite podcast.
It's another podcast?
Yeah.
Her second
thought
favorite one.
I thought we were the only ones doing this.
But they are in Australia, and like they had a live listening party with 400 people in a theater.
Wow.
And then they were ranking the songs as they were listening on first listen. And I think it's really interesting, like the ones that they think are really great are ones that people like kind of were trashing online in North America. And so like the perception of how much of like our critique of an album is perhaps related to the discourse of like what we're around,
what's out there,
and what other people are saying, or like how much we might be excited about it or accept it, if that's kind of the vibe.
That's actually an advantage I have of being completely outside of the discourse.
Right.
So I can either just enjoy it or not.
Yeah.
Nathan's a secret Swiftie.
A secret,
Not so secret anymore.
Underneath the video game shirt I have.
Sorry.
No.
No idea what it is.
Yeah.
But okay, but that brings us to an important point about like the community.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put that with in all caps and put a copyright after it. The Swiftie business is like, it's a thing. And when you fully take part in the thing, I'm gesturing at you with your merch on, and Haeny has multiple bits of merch here. It feels like a lot, and it feels like it might even be work at some point, right? What is it about this kind of experience that feels still playful to you? What do you get out of it?
Yeah, I think that I'm really sad I made you friendship bracelets. I think I left them at my office at work.
What?
So I'm really sad. But I think like the friendship bracelets are kind of like a thing that's mentioned in a song, right? That like gets picked up and people kind of make it into a thing, right? Like I guess like Taylor Swift has been on interviews and been like, yes, some things are Easter eggs and some things are things that people take up. And the same thing, like we were in, Haeny and I saw the show in Germany. And at that point, during the Eras tour, there's a part where people were having orange and yellow balloons and shining their lights to mimic what was like happening on stage. And that's not something that Taylor Swift told people to do, but it's like something that a couple people did, and then it was on social media, and then it sort of grew. In the same way that my heart home of New Orleans, they made a friendship bracelet to go around the stadium there, and then they passed it on, and it was at every stadium that followed, like this giant outdoor friendship bracelet.
Wow.
So I think that there's like people create play for themselves and choose like what they want to partake in. And some people represent that by like joining the crowd and being like, cool, I'm going to like figure out what all these acronyms mean for her different songs. Or, but like another woman who was exchanging bracelets, we were exchanging bracelets, and instead of bracelets, she made paper rings, which is like from a particular song. And she had said that she had spent hours making these like paper rings to give people, but it was like her own take on still participating in this like playful thing of exchanging something.
I think that's like the nice part about it is I feel like we've talked on the pod for 6 seasons now about play being this valuable thing because it's creative and innovative and imaginative, right? And there's emergent practices that come out of play. And I feel like when I look at Swifties, that's basically what's happening, right? Like you could not like it, you could hate her, you could, she's not without her faults and problems and all of that. But I feel like there's these emergent play practices that come, and not because someone told you that you have to do it this way, but because you have a community of people that can get together and be like, let's try to do this, and then see what circulates and see what kind of takes off, which is kind of what we want to think about with play for kids in school too, right? Like we don't always want to direct every single thing that they do, because sometimes that stops being play, right, and starts to become work. But
Sorry. I was going to say too, I think another thing that is really interesting to me with like, that is similar maybe to Star Wars is like the cosplaying and the costuming that happens. And like, I lived in New Orleans a long time. And like, when you live there, you're always working on and talking about what your next costume is for Halloween, for Mardi Gras, for like midsummer Mardi Gras. Like you're always planning, like, what do you need and where are you going to be getting it, or how are you going to be making it? And I think that like there's this like expression of self that is really playful in a place like New Orleans and like more consistently outwardly shown, where I think that like when you go to the Eras tour, like she's a brand and her albums are branded in particular ways and like these different eras that she's been in, but her listeners have maybe been in. And so you can look at somebody dressed in gold and be like, oh, you're here for, what are you here for? Fearless, right?
That's what I was going to say.
But I think that like it allows people to kind of outwardly show some of the things that they might internally feel in terms of like how they feel connected to her. But because you're also dressed in the not a lot going on at the moment t-shirt, I can be like, oh my gosh, you're also like into this, let's talk about this, or oh, I like what you did with that. But
a source of connection, like relational connection. And that goes back to our first question, right? Like music is also about relational connections, right? And the memories that you build with people around you.
Yeah, I mean, a consistent theme in this podcast is this notion of community and the core role that it plays with play. And you mentioned Star Wars, and you made the comparison. My first thought was Comic-Con. I just got back from Comic-Con a week or two ago, and there's not like one way to do that costume. There's not one way to do Batman. There's not one way to be Spider-Man. There's not one way to be Wonder Woman. There's like an infinite number of ways. And what's fun isn't just to see somebody dress up as Spider-Man. It's to see like their take on it and their particular twist to it, and their ways of mashing it up with some anime that they're into or whatever else, right? That community piece makes the play that much more playful, and you use the word emergence too, which I think is so core to this.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think that like this idea of like Comic-Con or like dressing in whatever way, like it's not limited to just like Swifties in music, right?
Yeah, no,
like,
not at all.
It's as much as like, okay, so like for Renaissance versus like the Cowboy Carter tour, like people were donning different kinds of clothes for that, to like the Backstreet Boys were just playing at the Sphere and like asked everyone to dress in white, like in their Millennium album. And then you also have like these other instances. So I went to... in the same year, I went to Shania Twain in Toronto. Shout out to Canada.
Wow.
But like there's women dressed in like
Shania
that.
Twain.
Dressed like
Wow.
Chanel?
They're dressed in like the leopard print kind of stuff.
that's
I
cool.
was wearing like my cowboy boots.
That doesn't impress
and,
me
like,
much.
Yeah, right? But then I also saw Olivia Rodrigo that year. And there's also like these young girls who are dressing with like butterfly clips in lavender and in black.
Yeah.
And with like skater kind of vibes.
Yeah.
And it's like this kind of shared sense of, yeah, we can don these kinds of personas as well, because we all contain multitudes.
Let's not forget the original, the original kind of clothing illustrators of this, which was Crisscross.
Oh, yes. We love that.
Oh my God.
You remember Crisscross?
Yes, will make you wanna.
I mean,
Yup.
I would also say, like, I went to the ABBA museum this summer, and for me, the life of the showgirl also has some ABBA vibes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'm like,
sure.
talk about like all the
Well,
costuming and stuff they did,
Isn't the producer like Swedish or something?
and they
Isn't
like
there?
recorded in Sweden.
Yeah, so that makes sense. That
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks. Do you want to ask this final?
Well,
just
okay,
deep
yeah, our final
question
thing.
here?
Maybe this is for
I
all
feel like
of
this needs to come from you. That's why I'm.
No, I feel like this is for all of us, right?
okay.
Like, what do we... So we've talked about, like, the emergent practices. We talked about community. We talked about collective identity, connection that people can have to each other. So how do we want to apply this to our everyday lives? Like, how can we make our lives more like Swifties?
What's the lesson?
What's the lesson here? Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
This is for
It's a
everybody.
little bit of a tougher one.
Yeah. Well, how about you? So you guys both went on the Eras tour together. You were
Yeah.
in Germany. You're right there in the thick of it. Any lessons you drew from that specifically, or from all the other experiences you've gone to?
Well, as this is a play date,
Yeah.
I have not myself been a child for a while, but I do think that like when you schedule a play date as an adult or as a child, it's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And like the concert was something to look forward to. There were like ways to prepare. There were like things that we could talk about that we wanted to do, but then there's things that are kind of like happenstance that you
Yeah.
hope might happen. And like there might be moments of disappointment. We had a lot of rain at that particular show, but it became a fun rain show at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that adults often don't have a lot of time for play. Sometimes we're eliminating that opportunity for kids in schools or
Yeah.
due to circumstances of politics, if they feel safe on the street or not.
Yeah.
And so I think trying to figure out how we can create space for play. We know play will happen, but also ensuring that we like take some time out for it, I think is really helpful.
Yeah, totally. It's kind of like play is organic at its best, but then we also don't want to make it intentional too, right?
That's a tricky balance to walk.
Yeah.
I think my lesson is that even things that may not be coded for me or might not seem like something I would be into, I can still celebrate that other people are like really into them and finding joy, and I can also like, you know, dip a toe in and see what's kind of interesting or not, and then I can dip a toe out. But that, you know, there's such a need for everyone to feel like they have to be haters all the time.
Yes.
And I think it's very good to not be a hater and to instead be somebody who celebrates
Yes.
what people like and what people are into, and we can do that in all sorts of different ways.
Yes, I feel like that's similar to the thing that I was thinking. Is I just think sometimes we like to stomp all over people's happiness because that seems like the fun thing to do.
Yeah,
I don't know
right,
why. Yeah, but I feel like we should enjoy that other people are finding joy, right? And I think
Yeah.
about especially school, like we almost think that learning cannot happen if it's fun. Like F is like, it's an F word.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so I think why not? Like, why don't we lean into the idea that things should be more fun, should be more joyful, and that we shouldn't squash people's ability to enjoy things.
As my wife always says, don't yuck my yum.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Words
And-
to live by.
And I think too, like even like in school, like thinking about music, right? Like if it's instrumental, like sometimes you can play that in the background and kids are still gonna like sing along to it or like create space like I'm gonna give a shout out to John Wargo. He's very good at asking his students like, what song do you want to hear, and like playing different songs when like the undergrads are walking into class that week. Like, how can you use music to like connect with other people but expose people to other sorts of opportunities for play, right? Like, music can be a soundtrack as much as it can. We can just sit and do it, listen to it. We can also be doing a lot of other things alongside of it.
Yeah.
I'll be a father figure. I'll stop there.
We can't sing along because you started that song way too high.
Well, that's just my
Natural
range,
pitch.
man. That's my range.
That's my range.
Speaking of yums, we got to ask you, because it's a pop and play episode, what is poppin' for you? What, in addition to Taylor Swift, and maybe it's just Taylor Swift, but what else are you into right now? What's cool?
What else is cool right now? Listen, this is like a little bit old, but I really like Overcompensating as a show.
Yeah, great show.
Oh,
I
don't
think
know
it's
this show.
really funny. I also said I'm a really big fan of High Potential, the show right now.
That I've not watched that, but it seems like a good show too.
I don't know either of these shows.
You are behind
I'm
this.
so far behind.
But you're telling us a lot about your aesthetic is you like humor, funny things
Yeah, we
right
like
now.
fun
At the moment,
and funny
that's
things.
what you
As
want.
much as I love Criminal Minds, I
You
also
really
like
want fun and funny
fun
at the
and
moment.
funny things.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and also I was sharing last night that I started watching Veep for the first time ever.
Oh, yes.
As well
So
as The
good.
West Wing.
So good.
So I'm also like
that's
very,
interesting
very late.
contrast.
very late to the game. But yeah.
I rewatched Veep not too long ago, and the only problem with Veep is they keep manifesting things in the world. They do something absurd in the
that's what I've
show,
heard.
and then it's like, oh no, that is now real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent recommendations. Excellent insight into not just the mind of Taylor Swift, but also the broader cultural movement that is Swifties.
Are you going to continue listening to Taylor Swift?
I will happily bop along whenever it comes on. It probably won't be in a regular rotation for me, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I had fun with this album. And Haeny, last year or something, sent me, I said, hey, I said, I don't know much about Taylor Swift. Send me a few songs. She sent me like a playlist of like 107
That makes
songs.
sense. That makes sense.
And so there were like one or two on that I liked as well.
Yeah. And you didn't like any of the country songs.
I didn't care for those.
Yeah.
They just weren't Christian enough for you, I guess.
That's right. Amen. Amen.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Cassie.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was really a fun conversation. Thank you for being on our inaugural first play date of season 6.
gosh.
So exciting.
What a pleasure.
Yeah.
The pleasure was all ours. I hope, for the listeners up there, I hope you had a chance to play along with us, and we'll also try to take some opportunities to engage in a conversation online about these things. Feel free to what do we do now? We don't tweet. We Instagram at each other. Mm-hmm. Is there a verb for that? Don't DM me.
Don't DM us. We will not answer you because we don't know how to do that.
But we may try to have some kind of like online dialogue about this stuff, and it'd be great to have you take part in that. We'll let you know whenever that happens. And we'll be back in a few weeks for the next pop-off and our next play date coming up.
Woo woo.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.